Okay, these are your 3.4 notes. And we're going to talk, we've been doing these long, ugly equations with all these x's and y's and different letters in them. So when we have just a normal equation, when we get one answer, x equals 6, x equals -5, x equals 0, x equals 17, whatever x equals, that means we have one solution. X is equal to one thing. Sometimes you can have an equation that has no solution, and sometimes you can have an equation that has an infinite number of solutions. So let's talk about ones that have no solutions first. So no solution equation means that there is no possible number that could be an answer for the equation. So if you finish a problem and you end up with 3 equals -7, that is not true. 3 does not equal -7. Or you end up with 4 equals 0. Not true. When your variable goes away, when you don't have that x or y, that's when you kind of look for a no solution. When -5 equals -6, that's still not true. So let's solve this problem. Let's distribute -8x minus 4 equals -8x minus 2. Now it's time to get those x's. So I'm going to add 8x over here. That makes it go away. I'm going to add 8x right here. -8 plus 8 is 0, so that goes away. I'm left with -4 equals -2. Does -4 equal -2? Are they the same thing? Absolutely not. So this equation has no solution. It doesn't matter what number I try, it's not going to have an answer. And the symbol for a problem with no solution is a 0 with a line through it. So no solution. Let's talk about when a problem has infinitely many solutions. That means that every number you have could work as an answer for this equation. So if I work this out and I end up with 5 equals 5, 0 equals 0, -8 equals -8. All those are so very true, and that tells me that there's an infinite number of solutions. So let's look at an example of that. -5 minus 9x equals, I've got to distribute, 3 minus 9x minus 8. Old school baby math to put my like terms together. So -5 minus 9x equals 3 minus 8, that'd be -5 minus 9x. Let's move this over, plus 9x, mark that out, plus 9x. -9 plus 9 is 0. I'm left with -5 equals -5. Is that true? Absolutely. So, infinite, I spelled that wrong. I-N-F-I-N. Infinite number of solutions. And instead of having to write the word out, we just do the infinity sign, which is like a sideways 8 kind of. All right. Flip over to the next page. This is your 3.4 practice. I only want you to do 3, 4, and 5. You will have one of these that'll just be normal x equals a number. Normal answer. You'll have one that'll be wacky, and you'll get like 7 equals -14. That'll be no solution. It is not going to be 7 equals 14. I'm just giving you an example. And the other problem in these three, you'll get something perfect like 8 equals 8, and that means it'll be an infinite number of solutions. So work 3, 4, 5 out and get one of those answers. When you're done, I need you to get out your 3.5 packet. We're moving on. All right, in 3.5, we're going to talk about proportions and ratios. A ratio is when we compare two numbers by division. So, if I have 5 boys in class and 10 girls, what's my ratio of boys to girls? Well, there's different ways you can write ratios. I can use a colon, and I say 5 to 10. I can write the word 2 and just say 5 to 10. Or I can write it as a fraction, 5 to 10. If I write it as a fraction, I have to reduce it in my calculator, and that makes 1/2. So your ratio of boys to girls is 1 to 2. A proportion tells me that two ratios are equal. To determine if the ratios are equal proportions, set them equal to each other, and then we're going to cross multiply. And you should have learned to cross multiply a long time ago. So this will hopefully just be a refresher. So I set 3 over 2 equal to 21 over 14. And now all I'm going to do is cross multiply. So I'm going to say 3 times 14. And then I'm going to say 2 times 21. 3 times 14 is 42. 2 times 21 is 42. Those are equal. So yes, those ratios are proportional. Let's check the next one. Set it equal. 8 times 18, 8 times 18 is going to be equal to 9 times 12. 8 times 18 is 144, is equal to 108. That is not true. So those ratios are not proportional. Let's set these equal to each other. 4.2 times 2.24. When I multiply that, I get 9.408. When I do 5.6 times 1.68, I get 9.408. So yes, those are proportional. So that's easy. You should have learned to cross multiply a while ago. If a proportion has a variable, we're going to cross multiply to solve the proportion. To solve that proportion, if the variable is being added or subtracted, we're also going to have to distribute when we cross multiply. Sorry, that spelled looks terrible, but it says distribute. So let's work on this first one. So I'm going to cross multiply. What is n times 16? Well, 16n equal sign 16 times 24 is 384. Okay, to get this n by himself, we know that he is being multiplied, so we got to divide. N is going to equal 24. That's all. Let's do this next one. Cross multiply. 4 times 84 is 336. That's going to be equal to 7 times x. We divide by 7 to get the x alone. We're left with 48 equals x. All right, here is where it gets a little more different, but not too much. So I'm going to multiply 7 times 5 and get 35. That's easy. 7 times r plus 2. This is when I'm going to have to distribute. So 7 times r plus 2. So now I distribute. 35 equals 7r plus 14. We'll subtract 14. 21 equals 7r. Divide by 7. R is on the other side. 3 is going to equal r. All right, let's do the same thing for this one. So I got to cross multiply these guys. So I'm going to say 15, and then I'm going to write the x plus 4 part in parentheses so I can distribute, and that's going to be equal to 9 times 10, which is 90. Let's distribute 15x plus 60 equals 90. Let's subtract 60 on both sides. 15x equals 30. Divide by 15. X equals 2. All right? So that's not too bad compared to what we've been doing. I'm going to throw in 2 word problems. And actually, word problems with proportions are the easiest word problems we do, I think. So, Trent goes on a 30-mile bike ride every Saturday. So I'm going to write my 30 miles. He rides the distance in 4 hours. So on the bottom, I'm going to write 4 hours. So my first fraction is 30 over 4. That's going to be equal to, how far can he ride in 6 hours? Okay, so if the hours are on the bottom, right here, they need to be on the bottom right here. So I'm going to put my 6 hours here. So the miles are on top. So, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the distance. I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to put an X. Now all we do is cross multiply. 4x equals 180. I'm going to divide by 4. That means that he will go 45 miles. Let's do the same thing with this next one. The scale on a map of Crater Lake is 2 inches to 9 miles. So let's write our fraction. 2 inches to 9 miles. And it's going to be equal to, the distance between the overlook and the low lake on the map is 6 inches. So because my inches are on top, I need to put them on top over here. 6 inches. And I'm looking for the miles, the real distance. 6 times 9 is 54. 2 times x is 2x. I'm going to divide, and I'm going to end up with 27 miles. So those aren't too bad at all. You just always have to make sure that inches, inches, miles, miles. It just has to line up across from who it is similar to.